here we are at Don's Pond, and I'm Bettina with the Friends of the Acton Arboretum and the Land Stewardship Committee. And this is Mao-Chen, Don's husband, and Kathy, Don's daughter.
Yeah, and it's so special to have this new fixture in the Acton Arboretum. It's kind of a beautiful coincidence. It happened right after Mother's Day because it's such a gift to us and to Don's memory. Just the way that, you know, my mom was always giving back to the community. So it's really, really special.
Yeah, this really means a lot to me too. It's a place for me to visit all the time. I really appreciate all the volunteers and the people, local community, you know, made this possible, and like people can enjoy it. It's also a big wish from Don.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's such a labor of love, this project, and everyone who loved Don and loves the Arboretum and loves the Acton community just put so much into it. So I feel so much love for that.
It's such a gift.
Yeah, I only can say thank you all.
We are at Don's Pond here at the Acton Arboretum in memory of Don Wang, who passed away last May. She and her friends came together and fundraised for this place, this beautiful pond. So she was a personal friend, and it's such an honor to be here with other members of the community to honor her memory at this ribbon cutting ceremony.
I'm John Mangiarotti. I'm the town manager. I work down the street. And very honored to be here today to commemorate Don's Pond. I worked with Don as a volunteer on several initiatives. She was a very active part of this community in my time working with her, whether it was a diversity and race relations seminar that she helped work on, or other projects such as this, or the community center that she had a vision to build with the old house behind Town Hall. In any event, I know how much time she put into this community, and I'm pleased to be here to help commemorate her efforts and her time.
Special and fortuitous that this opening falls just the day after Mother's Day too. Hope everybody had a beautiful Mother's Day. As we're thinking about her and just how much that she gave me and our family, this pond feels like such a beautiful gift that our community can give back to us for Mother's Day and for Dawn, and it's such a blessing to her memory. It's a real labor of love designed by so many hearts and minds and hands, and so much effort and care by our Arboretum workers, volunteers, and our community members. And it's a gift for everybody. It's a gift for the Acton community and beyond, and anyone who's here to visit it. So that's the most special thing. And Dawn always gave back to the community, just like John was saying, whether it was raising awareness for lung cancer, or text banking, or the Acton Box Road Community Center, working on different DEI initiatives, doing different COVID outreach. She was always so busy. I'd always like text her and be like, "How are you doing?" And she's like, "Good, I'm working on like 3 different posters and 4 different things." Like, she was like busier than I was. She was always bustling and full of life, and the Arboretum especially was my mom's pride and joy. And when I would visit, she would take me here. We would go on long walks. We would reflect about life. She'd ask me about relationship gossip. We'd talk about important issues in the world. It was a really special place for us, and still is. And sometimes she'd be like, "You need to go do some weeding, or you need to go help water the China Trail garden." So she never had a task that went undid. And with her care and vision, the China Trail Garden came to life in 2019, and thanks to so many people who worked on that as well, it's now a main cultural fixture. It also provided a lot of comfort to me during the COVID-19 pandemic, during the rise of anti-Asian violence. It became a really important cultural symbol and a place that just brought me a lot of joy. Her imagination was so vast and bright, and I love hearing Bettina tell the story of how Don's Pond came to be. She was actually in hospice care in bed, and she was just texting everybody like crazy, and you had sent her a picture of a puddle, and you have the details better than me, but it was such a hilarious exchange.
It is a very funny story,
Yeah.
and it really was the beginning of
Dawn's vision for Dawn's Pond, there was a huge downpour the winter right before Christmas a year ago. And the herb garden up the trail that is held on the bricks, it was underwater, really several inches. And one of our land stewards took a picture and said, "Oh, look, it's a new pond at the Arboretum." And I sent it to Dawn, I texted it to her, and I said, "Look, it's a new water feature." And she said, "Oh, Bettina, fish pond." I said, "No, Dawn, it's not a fish pond. That's the herb garden." She goes, "Bettina, fish pond." And I was like, "Oh man, she must like be very tired today. I don't know what she's got going on." Like, "Dawn, it's not a fish pond." She goes, "Bettina, fish pond." And I was
Very
like,
subtle.
I know.
"Oh." And that was the beginning.
Exactly. And it's come so much of a long way from that original vision of a puddle. Now it's a mini ecosystem. It's teeming with life and fish and plants and flowers from everybody here in the community. So even though Dawn's gone, we can all feel her energy from this special site. So I just want to give a massive thank you, of course, to Bettina Abe, to Jun Zong, who isn't here today, to my dad, Miao Chen Wu, all the members of the Arboretum board, Phoebe Conant, and it also wouldn't be possible without the Metro West Water Garden Company, Anthony and Joe and Ian, and also, of course, Brewster Conant with a truckload of rocks. That is crucial to the success of this pond. So this means the world to me and my family. I hope you'll all enjoy the pond and Dawn's vibrant spirit for many years to come. Thank you all so much for being here.
As a legislator and elected official for Acton, it's so important to commemorate those who have given back in so many different ways. And I had the honor, I believe, of first meeting Dawn at sort of the early beginnings of the Acton Chinese Language School, where at the time there was a forum where you could come in as an elected official to talk to the community, which was really at the time when the Chinese American community was just beginning to grow in significant numbers in Acton, and having the chance to come in and speak at that forum about issues of concern, and really getting that first indication of the contributions of the Chinese American community to Acton. And then, of course, she was one of the founders of the Acton Chinese American Civic Society, which did so much community service. You know, Kathy speaking to you, all the different activities that Dawn did. It's just amazing, just a limitless number of ways that she gave back. One of my favorite memories was volunteering with her and other members of the organization in Concord at a church where it was part of the Chinese Lunar New Year, helping educate seniors, many of whom really didn't know what Chinese New Year's was about, and teaching them how to use chopsticks as well. So it's just a really beautiful memory. And I think that's what's so poignant and special about this pond is that, you know, Acton, and I grew up in Acton, and you see so many different ways that people that contribute or recognize. Sometimes the street is named after them, sometimes the building is named after them. But this is really the first time that a member of the Chinese American community has something dedicated to them, and I think it highlights not just Dawn's tremendous contributions and her generosity, but also a signal for the Chinese community in general of contributions to Acton. And so that's really, really special to have this pond here that people can walk by, you know, perhaps learn a little bit more about culture, learn a little bit about Dawn. And so just so honored to be here. And I think the last thing I'll just say about Dawn is that aside from sort of giving back, I always try to understand, you know, why did she give back, why she cared so much. And I think the thing I will always remember is how much she cared about standing up, you know, for the little person, for the person who didn't necessarily have power. And I won't go into too much detail about it other than to say that at one of those forums of the Acton Chinese Language School, there was a bill where at the time there was a lot of opposition to the bill. And I don't even know if you know this, Kathy, but your mom sort of was one of the only members to sort of stand up for me in talking about this legislation, which I will say just became law last session, to make sure that Asian Americans, whatever country that person or family came from, that there was a recognition of that and data collection so that government could better serve different ethnic groups and different nationalities.
Yeah,
so I just think of that as that she stood up for it at a time when there was opposition, and now you know, her legacy lives on in that.
That's amazing. But
also with Don's Pond. So I do have a citation for myself from Representative Cataldo and Representative Sina. I'll just read it to you and your dad. It says, "Be it hereby known that the Massachusetts Senate and House of Representatives hereby extends its congratulations to the Friends of the Acton Arboretum in recognition of the special occasion of the opening of Don's Pond at the Acton Arboretum. Be it further known that the Massachusetts Senate extends its best wishes for continued success." It's signed by Senate President Karen Spilka, Speaker Mariano, Representative Cataldo, Representative Sina, and your state senator.
Oh,
Congratulations.
that's amazing. Thank you all so much.